Half-blind dovetails. On half-blind dovetails, only one side of the joint shows. They're commonly used for flush or rabbeted drawer fronts, boxes, and cabinetry. Leigh Super Jigs are really two dovetail jigs in one. First, a through dovetail jig. Then, simply by turning the finger assembly end over end, they become half-blind dovetail jigs. On the pin side, instead of angled guide surfaces on top, there are parallel guide surfaces. The icon on the green scale now clearly shows as a half-blind pin. Simply rotating the finger assembly puts the jig in the half-blind tail mode. This is indicated by the icon. These guides are similar to through dovetail tail guides. Perfect half-blind joints are as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1. Lay out the guide fingers. 2. Route the tails. 3. Route the pins. Like through dovetails, the Leigh guide fingers give automatic alignment of pins and tails, so all drawer corners are simply routed at one end of the jig. With fixed template jigs, the pins and tails are always the same size. There's no option to vary joint spacing. With Super Jigs, you have total freedom of joint design for that elegant hand-cut look. On template jigs, because the pattern is fixed, there's no guarantee you'll get a half pin at each edge of the joint. Completely variable joint spacing on Leigh jigs solves this problem. On Super Jigs, tailboards are clamped vertically at one end of the jig, against the side stop. On the drawer side, tails are routed around the radiused tail guides. Supplied bridge pieces are used when wider tails are being routed. Scales are simply set to the thickness of the tailboard. All tailboards are routed first, using the included Leigh E-bush and 14-degree bit. The E-bush is set to the number 10 position. The guide bush follows around the tail guides and across the bridge material to form the tails. After all similar tailboards are routed, the finger assembly is simply rotated to access the half-blind pin guides. The finger assembly is now in the half-blind pin mode as indicated by the scale icon. Once again, the scale is set at the thickness of the tailboard. Both modes, same setting. Half-blind pin boards or drawer fronts are clamped horizontally in the jig against the top side stop. Whether the drawer fronts are flush or rabbeted makes no difference. Drawer front and drawer side alignment is guaranteed by the side stops. Pins are routed on the drawer front, using the same dovetail bit at the same depth of cut that's used for tails on the drawer side. The template guide bush and dovetail bit follow the parallel guide surfaces to form the pins. Adjusting the depth of cut is the only way to achieve a perfect fit with half-blind dovetails. This is a router adjustment, not a jig adjustment. Here's why changing the depth of cut changes the fit in half-blind dovetails. Changing the depth of cut does not affect the width of the socket, but it does affect the width of the pin that goes into the socket. Decreasing the cutter depth narrows the pin, but the socket doesn't change. This produces a looser fit. Increasing the cutter depth makes the pin wider, but the socket width still doesn't change. This makes the fit tighter. All half-blind dovetail jigs work this way. Once the best fit is established, it's easy to measure and record the bit projection in the user guide. or on the quick reference pull-out chart. Or for an equally quick setup, save and mark your test piece. Super jigs can produce 5 half-blind joint depths in any board thickness from a 1/2 inch to 1 inch, with 5 available bits. Only Leigh dovetail jigs allow you to create a traditional handcrafted look with infinitely variable joint spacing.